But of course, Jerry, I don't get it. Why are we experimenting in the Champions League? And I understand FC Masar from Egypt, the team that Banyana Bastyle were playing, are a new team in the league, right? A new team in the Champions League. And maybe you took them for granted. But why is it that we see so many different things happening? For example, you have a back three with Biana in front of them, which is fine when you have a back three, knowing that Dlamini and Ramalepe will be able to cover those back three as they normally do. Yes, Ramalepe pushes up pretty high when she's playing for Sundowns, but she was playing almost as a winger. But then, fine, you have Ubiana there as the 6. And now maybe you sacrifice some of the playing that you could have done in order to have Rabale playing in the center, not as the 10 that we know her to be, but sharing the responsibility. And then up top you have Uban Utaweti no Khariete. And even there, both of them are playing as last line strikers, even though we know that Khariete doesn't necessarily play that. She's normally almost like a false 9. When she plays with Tolagele, a false 9, where Tolagele is the main person, and then you come in and she gets the ball and can play it to her, or she follows up. Sorry to interrupt the video that I'm sure you're enjoying, but I just wanted to say thank you for all of the support that you guys have shown me and my Overthinking Football platform. I'm a one-man band that's doing all of this, and I really do enjoy the comments about how, you know, Supersport needs to come fetch me and SABC and all of that stuff. And I think it speaks to the quality of the content, but also the amount of effort that I put in. So I just wanted to say thank you. But the truth is that Abu Supersport and all of those guys, yes, we're competing with them, but it's a completely different place. The sponsors are looking for former players, and to be honest with you, running some of these things is getting so difficult, and things have changed at home. So financially, it's a whole different world. So I wanted to try something new and come to the overthinkers, the people who watch the content, and say it would be incredible if you guys could contribute monthly towards the platform, towards keeping my lights on, but also making sure that all of the crazy things that I want to do, that I want to take Supersport on with, I can actually do. And just for 20 Rand every month, I think that would be an incredible contribution if you can make it. It may sound like a little, but if we can get a lot of people behind it, then we'll be able to carry on doing what I do. I'll be able to carry on giving you the content and also expanding it, because we don't have shows like this, and us content creators need help from our audiences. So I just came here to ask you if you can. Here is the account number that you guys can use in order to contribute. And I think, yeah, I'd be very grateful if you would. But anyway, let's get back to the video. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And then there's this thing that the South African teams in the Women's CAF Champions League are doing, UWC and Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. There's this thing that they're doing where they're almost rushing the ball up. They get the ball, they look up, and they just ping it forward centrally. And what happens now is that Abotaweti have to go fight defenders that are sitting, that are set, that are waiting for you. Instead of playing an easier pass, Niltunge, the way that they play. The two best chances that Mamelodi Sundowns got from that game being Ramalepe step over and then shooting it over, being Utawete, I think it was, also doing a similar move the other way and hitting it over, came from playing the ball. What is the point of crossing? Because also, if you're a team that is not used to crossing, the balls don't get to where they need to go, but also because you've got a player versus 3 or 2, it becomes a very difficult task to win that ball, especially for a team that is not used to putting the ball down now, or is not used to putting the ball into the air. Now, I don't know if it's down to the philosophies changing at Sundowns, because there was a thing, it was spoken of that whatever the first team does, everybody else has to sort of follow. And I think what they were playing here was a little bit more of the game manqoba mnqithi than the game urulani. But what ended up happening is this Mazar team, which was not very good. This Mazar team was not very good. They understood attacking in phases. Number 11 was pretty instrumental, and their striker, I'm forgetting her name, she won woman of the match. They were fine with soaking up pressure, winning the ball back, and then playing a long ball out behind the defense because they understood that Banyana Bastyle are in a 3 and there's no support. So they'd push up 3 players and basically play 1v1, which is so interesting because that is exactly what TP Mazembe did to UWC in yesterday's game. So, Coach Jerry, I think let's stop experimenting with that team. Let's let the people who play the roles play the roles. So we know that Urabale is the creative center when you get into the final third. We know that Uramalepe likes to cut in, or at the very least hit on transition and try play the balls wider. And maybe the girls should, the ladies should understand maybe that play the simple pass. You don't have to play Hollywood passes. You don't have to try and reinvent the wheel. Just play the simple passes and build up the way that you've built up. These are the defending champions of this tournament. They are the A team. Did you see how much that team celebrated after beating them? And maybe my issue is not necessarily the change of style and all of that. It's the control. It's the lack of control, the lack of structured play, the lack of knowing what you're doing, or if you don't know what you're doing, finding the pass. There were a couple of chances there where they could have played one more pass and opened up somebody else to go through. Where if they didn't rush to play the ball out so quickly, they could have met a run that was being made literally right next to the person that you're trying to give the ball. So it was a very interesting game. I hope that this is a blip, something that we're not going to see again. I hope that Coach Jerry can go out and fix these problems because this is not the Banyana Bastyle that we know. And I know the season has just ended. They've played so many games in the Hollywood Bets League, whereas their opponents are only starting their league right now. The North is only starting their leagues right now, so they're a little bit fresher. But we can't be playing like that. We can't be playing like that. Next game, can we go to a back 4 or at least a structured back 5 with with a midfielder next to Ubiana who can play the ball and let Rabale play in the 10, connecting with Khariete and Daweti up there as the threat. Very, very different team than the one I'm used to with Tolagele in the team and King Murifi in the team as well. The way that they were fluid in playing and the way that they wanted to dissect the other team. If you watched AS FAR Rabat, the other big name, the other finalist from last year that we beat in the final, if you watch them play, it's structured. They build the ball up with intention. They played with intention. And I think that was missing from Sundowns today, and that was definitely missing from EUWC yesterday. So hopefully they can get back onto it. They are the champions. We do support them for a reason. We've got their backs for a reason. So I am hoping that they're going to bounce back. I'm hoping that they're going to give us better performances going forward, and they need to. We are the defending champs. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'll see you on the next one.